Good morning, all my blue collar workers, all my YouTubers. Hope everybody having a good Monday. It's a little rainy today, looking like it might be a half day. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I was just thinking about some things about, you know, everything I try to post is like about trying to get your life together. Like, I went through some things. I know everybody goes through some things. And, it's just been a steady progression in trying to build my life up from basically below zero. Like, for those who don't watch my channel, haven't followed me, I did about 20 years in prison. Pretty much my whole life, I was just in and out of prison, in and out of prison. Like, I'd go to prison. My plan when I was in there would be to get out and be a better criminal. Like, I was a drug dealer, gang member, whatever. And it didn't really click to me. Like, I just kept thinking every time I got caught, I would try to rationalize it like I made a mistake in what I was doing. But it wasn't a mistake that I was committing crimes. Like, that wasn't what I was, my mindset wasn't that was what was wrong. So it took me a while to figure that out. Obviously, it took me way too long, but I got it together, turned it around. I've been out 5 years now. Got a good job, got a house, bought a Jaguar, got a little puppy. I feel like I'm doing all right. So I started out from the bottom, you know what I mean? Like, basically, there's a lot of people that come from my same background and they don't see a way to change. They just think like, you being square, you just gave up on life, you're square now. Like, I ain't never square, I'm still the same person. I just realized that the direction I was going wasn't working. Like, my mindset was wrong. I was thinking about doing things in the wrong way, and it wasn't never going to work like that. Like, there's only so far you're going to get in that lifestyle. The end result's going to either be death or prison. And I like life. I'm happy with life. It is what it is. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really even mind prison. Like, I was so used to it. I was so institutionalized that back to prison wasn't really a big deal to me. Like, I didn't want to go back to prison, but if it was, like, there was no other option. Like, okay, I'm gonna go do this now. Let's go live life here. So anyway, I turned that around. So one of the biggest things for me, turning things around, and one of the things I've been thinking about a lot is like surrounding yourself with winners. Like, I read a book when I was in prison. This was actually a while back, and the first time when I read it, I looked at it in the wrong way. I looked at it as this could benefit me in the gang culture or in the illegal lifestyle. It's called the 7 Strategies to Accumulating Wealth and Happiness. And it was talking about, in there, it had said something that really stuck with me, and it took me a while to really see it for how I should have seen it. And they said something along the lines of, like, basically, the people that you surround yourself is who you're going to become. And as a criminal, I was thinking, like, yeah, that's right. Like, I'm surrounding myself with all these people that they're not really serious about selling drugs. Like, I need to find people that already know how to sell drugs and be like, that was how my mind was so twisted. So now I look at it like from the way that I should have looked at it. Like, if you're surrounding yourself with criminals, like, obviously criminal behavior is gonna be normal. Like, you're not gonna see a problem with it, and it's gonna keep you locked in that lifestyle. Same thing with people that have like drug addictions. Like, if you surround yourself with other people that's doing drugs, like, you're not gonna see a problem with doing drugs. You're gonna be doing drugs too, like, because everybody around you does that. Like, you're not gonna change out of that mindset. You're not gonna upgrade your lifestyle. So one thing that I've noticed since I've been a union pipe fitter is that the people that you're gonna be working with on a regular basis, like, there's gonna be a lot of people that's doing better than you. Like, especially coming up in an apprenticeship program. Like, when you start out as an apprentice, obviously you're at the bottom, so you kind of get a little bit of the bottom end of the stick on a lot of things. Like, you got to do the jobs nobody else want to do because you're coming up, you're basically making your bones and learning the trade. But all the people around you is there to teach you. And so it's not just teaching you pipe fitting. Like, for me, it's been a lot of these guys have been teaching me life skills, because being in prison for 20 years, there's a lot of things that I did not know. Like, even just buying my house, like, that was basically luck. Like, I got lucky on that the mortgage company, they pretty much walked me through it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know nothing about interest rates. I didn't know nothing about none of this stuff. So I've been constantly learning everything like I'm a baby. So once you get into a trade, there's gonna be a lot of people around you, they ain't necessarily doing the right thing. There's a lot of people that drink and whatever. But there's a lot of people that they're living a positive lifestyle, and they've been living a positive lifestyle for a long time, and they know a lot of things. So, and as a union member, like, we all consider ourselves brothers. They will never have no problem teaching you a skill or telling you about something, so you can always bounce questions off the people you work with. So that might not really be work related, but it goes back to what I'm saying, is that the people you surround yourself with is who you're going to become. So when the last time I got out of prison, I got out of federal prison in 2017. I was still trying to hang around some of the people that, gang members or whatever, and they was like, one thing I noticed, like, going in and out of prison, like, I'd go to prison for 5-6 years, I'd come out, and the people that wasn't in prison that I knew from before, they're still out there doing the same things. Like, they ain't never progressed. They're getting older, but they're not getting wiser. And that was part of what made me really make the change to get my life together and be legit and be a regular citizen, because I just felt like mentally I'm advancing, but these people that I've been around, been socializing, associating with, they're still stuck in the same mind frame. Like, now we getting old. Like, you 40 years old, you never had a car before, you never had your own place, you never had a house. Like, that's not advancement. Like, I've always been the type of person that I want to advance. I want to be better than I was before. So now a lot of people that I'm working with, union members, like, they have all owned their house for years. They got campers and trucks and motorcycles and all this stuff. And it's like, I don't know nothing about none of this stuff. So that's kind of just the key for today, is like, sometimes when you're in a situation where your life is kind of bogged down, or you feel like you're not making the advances you want. I said something yesterday, I posted about change. Sometimes it's not just about changing your working environment. Sometimes it's about changing the people you surround yourself with, because if you surround yourself with positive people, that positivity gonna bounce back on you. Like, that's what's gonna be acceptable. Like, if you surround yourself with negative people, you can't save somebody that don't want to save themselves. They just gonna drag you down. It's like a drowning person. You go try to save them, they gonna pull you under. Like, sometimes you gotta just abandon and be like, look, I still got love for you, but we ain't got nothing in common no more. We ain't headed in the same direction, and you got to find them people that's going in the same direction. Sometimes there ain't even gonna be no people that's in that same direction. Sometimes you gotta do it on yourself and be like, it's time for me to figure out what I can do on my own, because I just feel like people's holding me back. So that's a big lesson to be learned, and it took me a long time to learn it. Like, I'd always think about it in the wrong way. Like, sometimes you just got to get your mind in the right direction to figure out that everything that you've been thinking is wrong. Like, your whole lifestyle, for me, my whole lifestyle was wrong. I was thinking everything criminal. Like, I was like, yeah, sell drugs and get rich, this and that, and falling into the trap from watching TV and movies, thinking that stuff is real. And I was somebody at one point in time, but none of it was really real. Like, the whole goal was not realistic, and I didn't see that. So now that I'm on the right track, I see a lot more things. So I'm noticing a lot more things with the people I work with, and I build bonds with people that I work with. People tend to like me for some reason. Like, I don't really know. I don't think I'm that likable of a person, but apparently when I'm at work, I'm a good worker, so that tends to make people like me. So just something to think about, man. I just want to see everybody do good out there, and I just try to point out some things that maybe it's not rocket science what I'm telling people, but sometimes it's good to hear from another point of view. Like, to be your best self, sometimes you got to make these changes, and you got to really evaluate yourself and be honest with yourself about what's going on, because you're not going to get anywhere from nobody else. Like, nobody else is going to help you. Nobody else is going to do nothing if you don't help yourself. And at the end of the day, we're all responsible for ourselves. There ain't no miracle cure. There ain't no magic way to do it. I know it seemed like some people get a better shake at life than others, and that's what it is. But you just got to work with what you got. And at the end of the day, I feel like everybody got the same opportunities, and I ain't nobody special. Like, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So, that's just something to think about. So I hope everybody having a good day out there. I hope everybody progressing, trying to live their best life. And I got to get to work in a little bit. So have a good day, everybody.